Hi everybody, sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel sikhulume ngama reality TV shows, ngama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers. You guys, if you hear some noise, it's raining outside, okay? So today, you guys, those who are crazy about the Real Housewives, okay? I just want to remind you, do not forget, set your reminders for Friday, because Real Housewives of Johannesburg is coming on Friday. Okay, so do not miss the premiere, because we are definitely going to talk about it. I've been waiting for so long for this franchise to come back. Anyway, you guys, if it's your first time joining me today and you really like my content, do not forget to press the subscribe button. Kanti there are other ways to support this channel. There's a like button, it's free. There's a thanks button, it's not free but very cheap, and also there are adverts on this video, so please watch some adverts to support the channel. So you guys, on Wednesday, before we actually see the premiere of Real Housewives of Joburg, there's going to be the second part and the finale of finales when it comes to Real Housewives of Durban, you guys. And of course, we did get the part one, which a lot of us were happy about, but there were people that were not happy, and we were like, guys, just wait a bit, because part two is coming. Okay, so listen, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that we expect Mablerh to focus on when it comes to part two for us to be satisfied. And you are also allowed to go into the comment section and talk about the things that you want him to talk about when it comes to part two of the reunion, you guys. If he doesn't talk about these things, I will be very disappointed. And we have to remember, you guys, I think the reunion, the episode is like 45 minutes, so all of this he has to cover in this episode, you guys. So the first thing is, I'm going to talk about 10 things that I personally am expecting that they're going to talk about. Okay, the first thing, I want them to go back to talking about that comment that was supposed to have been made by Usli to Ubube, you know, to Jojo's husband, where she was supposed to have said that she was single and ready to mingle, and Kelvin had said that he was going to find her a husband. Okay, I want them to talk about that, because finally we want to know, did she say that? Okay, and who initiated that conversation? Remember, at some point Usli was like, the person that initiated a conversation was actually Kelvin, it wasn't her. So we want to know that. Okay, I want that to be resolved, you know, finally. Okay, two, I want them to talk about the issue of Sorisha knowing, because at some point Sane had told Sorisha what she had said about Annie. She admitted that she said the sleeping your way to the top issue. She had admitted to Sorisha that she said it. They did not address that in the first part of the episode, even though they did address the sleeping your way to the top part, but they did not address the Sorisha part. So I want them to talk about it. Why didn't Sorisha tell Annie that Sane had admitted that she had said it? Why did she do that to Sorisha? I want Sorisha to answer that question. Okay, and then you guys, I want them to deal with the friendship got Jojo no Annie once and for all. We know that they're no longer friends, but obviously they need to go back and talk about what the issues were, the fights that they had there when Annie went to Jojo's room so that they could talk. Okay, what happened? I would like to see them get to an understanding of where the misunderstanding were when it came to their friendship. Okay, so I will be very disappointed if they don't address that. But we already know from Mabusi's interview that Jojo actually doesn't like to talk about issues at the reunion that have gone on the show, especially if she was the one that was wrong. Okay, so I don't know if she would want to have these conversations. Then I want a conversation about Jojo and Sane, because remember, allegedly Jojo sent SMSs to Usane talking about how Annie was the one that did not want Sane in the group. I want to see with everybody there what that conversation is like. And also I want to see the SMSs. Am I the only one that wants to actually see the SMSs? Okay, because sometimes when somebody says, no, you did send me a message, and another person saying, I did not, maybe we need to see the receipts. Okay, so I want to see if Jojo really did send those messages. Somebody must read them out to us so that we know for sure that they were sent, those messages. And then 5, you guys, I want them to talk about the JoJo breakdown, but I don't want them to talk about JoJo's breakdown just this season. I want them to go back to season 2, and at the end of this part, I want Jojo to see what this is something that happens with her all the time. I want Jojo to be held accountable for her actions, and I wanted to understand how she put her friend in danger while she was throwing a tantrum. Okay, I would love to see Jojo take some accountability, but I know that it's unlikely that it's going to happen. Okay, and then I want them to get to the big one, which is Usli Nononku, the physical fight. Listen, you guys, I do want them to get into the details of whether what Tunonko said to who, and if what is true and what is not true. I want them to get to that, but I also just want them to get to a point where every woman understands that it is not acceptable at any point during the show for somebody to get physical, so that as we move forward with the show, people understand that there is not something that is acceptable. We are not going to have to deal with that. We don't really want to watch that on TV. We want them to argue with their mouths. Okay, we don't want them to get physical. So I want Mablerh to make sure that he makes that point. Okay, and then when it comes to Usli, I want a little bit more on the stuff that came out in the internet when it comes to her marrying somebody that was married to her aunt. I want her to clarify that, and I would have loved for her to clarify that thing that she said that she has a son. Which son was that? I don't know if anybody else had picked it up when she said that on her live, so I would like for her to clarify that. Okay, and then I also want to Usli to be asked about what her intentions were when she told Umbali what Unonku said. What was her intention? You know, was she just being messy? What did she think was going to happen? If you tell somebody that this person was talking about you in a bad way, what was your intention? You know, I want Usli to answer to that. And then, you guys, the final one for me, I want Sorisha to give us the files that she promised us. Okay. She said she was bringing the files to the reunion, and she went there. She didn't have no folder. Is it in the phone? She said it's in her mind. We want the files, okay? We want the files, because what she said was, when they were claiming that Usli is borrowing people's monies and not paying back, she said she knows the same thing about Unonku, but she will only talk about it at the reunion. Well, the reunion is here, darling. We are waiting for the receipts, okay? So who does Nonku owe money to? Who has she not paid? We want to know. And don't just tell us stories. We want the receipts, okay? Anyway, you guys, that's what I expect from Wednesday. I think we need to manage our expectations, you guys, because part 2 has a lot of pressure. It's the final part, but they need to cover everything. At the same time, there's a limitation of time, so I don't know if they'll be able to. But I'm hoping that it's going to be as good as part 1. I'm looking forward to it, you guys. Set your alarms on for a Wednesday. Asivuki ekuseni kanjena nkosi yami ngabo sibuka ama Real House of. Imagine sivuke ekuseni just for indaba. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ngimthanda kakhulu.